Hey everyone, uh, this is going to be Will It Run and Can We Fix It? This is a Poulan Pro BVM200 leaf blower, and you can tell it's been sitting outside for quite a while because it's all bleached out. You know, it should be a nice Poulan Pro orange. And we can tell that somebody's already been in it. It's the cover here, the muffler cover is not clipped in where it's supposed to be. We don't have a pull start on it, but everything's here as far as our controls. And we do have the snout, which kind of has a hole in it, but oh well. But I picked this up at the auction last summer, and when I thought I was going to be able to start doing a little bit more small engine repair again, but I kind of got overwhelmed with some other stuff. We bought a building, and we're turning it into retail and arcade. If you watch my other channel, you know that's where all that stuff's at. And right now we have to work outside because the garage is full of pinball machines and arcade. So we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff outside, and this video is going to be kind of twofold. We're going to see if this is worth saving and getting it to run, and that's the first. And if we know it's going to run, I have a brand new aftermarket carburetor for this from HIPAA, and we're going to try one of those aftermarket carburetor kits and see if they work like they should. When we get into this and we get the carburetor off of this, we'll compare it, the new carburetor to the old carburetor, and we'll see if it's the same, and if it'll, you know, we'll see how close they are as far as being aftermarket and the original Zama that is on this. But first thing we need to do is find out if this thing has any compression. You know, before we even start tearing into it to get a pull start fixed. And I think I looked at this once before, and I think there's some of the screws are missing, so I think somebody was into this and was trying to fix the recoil. You know, there's two reasons why the handle is off of the recoil, off of the unit itself. One, it could be it just broke, and they couldn't figure out how to get it to do it. These are kind of a pain in the butt to repair as far as the recoil goes, and putting a new rope and handle on it. Could have been they couldn't get it running and was just pulling the hell out of it, and then finally broke it off and it went inside. Or two, they cut it and then sent it to the auction because it's burnt up, and they don't want you to be able to pull on it and see that it's screwed up. So on these, what you can do is, there's your little trap door on the bottom for the vacuum. You can open this up, and you can see there's our flywheel. Got a few little nasty critters in it, and we can turn it over, which feels really good. Now we can see one of the starter dogs is missing the spring. Nope, those are the flingers. Yeah, when these little fingers here, when you start it up, they fly out and stand out like that, and when you're sucking up debris, it'll grind it up and put it in a bag. If you have the bag and the snout for vacuuming. Most of these were bought just for a leaf blower. So we know it has compression. It, you know, it feels pretty good. I think the next thing we should do is probably see if we have any spark. And let's see, off all the way down should be no spark. We'll open it all the way up. And that's our choke. And like I said, the thing's sat outside for so long, it's pretty nasty looking. Alright, now let's see if we can get this plug out of here. These were always so stinking tight to get a socket in them. Yeah, eviction day. Spider crawling around on my hand. Doesn't look bad. Let's see if we can. Because if we can, it's another. You know, if it doesn't have spark, there's no sense in tearing it down unless we have a coil. Let's see if we can get this pinned. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sure. Used my screwdriver that I opened. Oh, shit. Come on. There we go. Now let's see if we got spark. Oh, too bright out here, man. I didn't see anything. Did you? Hope I'm spinning it the right way. Yeah, because the fins are scooped like that, so it would blow it right out. So yeah, we're good there. Too hard to tell. It's so bright out here. And I'm wondering if I have a good ground. Let's It's really common on these too for the muffler to plug up on them. No. Yep, eviction day, another spider taken off. There, can you see that in there? I can. Let's see if we can. Yep, I see it sparking off of the plug. It's actually sparking off the edge of the plug and not the trode. So probably that plug's probably dookie. But we do have spark now. Okay, since we know we have compression, I can run a compression check on it, but it's stiff enough. It has enough. It's going to run. We could. Okay, just went and checked them out of 2-stroke gas. So, but we're going to move forward anyway. Because if it has spark and good compression, we can make it run. Now is the fun part. Is we have to split this open. have to split the whole case open to get to the recoil, the starter. And that's going to entail tearing just about the whole thing down to get to it. See what we look like here. Now we got a filter. Kind of nasty. A lot of two-stroke oil in it. Alright, now let's get the carburetor off of this. Like I said, you got to tear these things completely down to get to the starter. And everything's going to hold you up. We have to get in here anyway. These are all nice and hard and falling apart. A little bit of good vintage. See, on this one, on these leaf blowers, you have your throttle. It's just your little lever is your throttle and your choke. You know, there is no trigger. That one is pretty funky. Let's see, I think we can leave the intake. Nope, looks pretty sure the intake has to come off of this too. In order to get it to cover and get it split. Intake. Pulse port is clear. Piston looks good, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Get the muffler off of it. She wasn't leaking there. I can see there's a couple screws missing. A little bit of, still got a little bit of gas in it. It does. That doesn't smell too bad in the tank. So let's, oh shit, kind of like to save that. Okay, let's before we get too involved, since I spilt gas all over the place, I didn't realize there was that much still in it. Let's get a urine sample from it, and that'll tell us a lot as to maybe why. Now there's one problem. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. That's one problem. I think the fuel line inside the carburetor, or inside the tank's all probably all deteriorated and gone. Yep, I see one of them, but I don't see the the one that actually feeds the carburetor. We'll set this off to the side and let it sit for a little while. And okay, I don't know when or where it happened, but I lost my SD card, started acting up. And I've been kind of having problems here lately with that SD card. Seems like in one spot it tells me that there's something wrong with my SD card and I have to reinsert it, and then usually it's okay. Alright, now we have to take, this is our trash mulcher, that little guy. And we have to get that up off of there. Get our blower off. And okay, we need to get into that guy right there. That's where our spring is. Take a look at our spring anyway. Because the way it is acting, I think the spring is broke. Alright. Should come up off of there. Or is that threaded? That's threaded on as well. Yeah, I think that's threaded on to the crank. That's not the crank yet. I think that's threaded on down. And that's probably, I'm going to say, reverse thread. Maybe not. All I'm doing is just turning the motor. Okay, I need a piston lock. Okay, I found my piston lock. This is 2 days later. I'm getting back to work on this, or a day and a half, whatever. What's today, Tuesday? No, I worked on it yesterday morning, and this is Tuesday evening. I did notice something when I was messing with this, that when you turn the crank, the flywheel is not turning. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Let's see, we can put this piston lock in. And now we can take this off. Maybe. Yeah, I know. That drive is not threaded on. It's just pushed up on with a key. It's a D shape. But there's still something wrong with the flywheel turning, and the crank is not. Okay, look. I think it sheared the key, if I'm not mistaken, on these two, that that bushing is about welded on there, rusted on. If I'm not mistaken, these flywheels have a permanent key in them. You know, it doesn't have just a regular Woodruff key. The flywheel itself is okay. Now, so what do we do? What are we going to do? Didn't hurt the piston or nothing. And I think I know where there's another one of these. Look at that. That wasn't catching very much on that flywheel. It should be all the way down like that. But it was just catching right out here on the edge. So there was that much play. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go see if I can dig up another Poulan Pro blower, which I'm pretty sure I have one over in the old shop. I think that one might be burned up, but we probably have a good piston and jug on this one, so we should be able to take two of them and build one. You know, busting this off, that's my own fault. It's been so long since I tore one of these down that I had forgotten that that's just keyed on there. But that still doesn't change the fact that the flywheel doesn't turn when you turn the crank. Somewhere in here is another Poulan Pro blower. Kerosene can. Oh, God, that one's full. There's my old compressor. It's a DeVilbiss 5.5 horse. Good compressor. I rebuilt this once already and I wore it out again. I don't know if I can still get the rebuild kit for it anymore. It's been so long. It's an older one. Okay, I think that's it sitting back here on the wood burner. Nope, that's a Craftsman. My big solo chainsaws. Oh, there he is. Buried down in amongst the stuff. Yep, got a boat motor sitting here. That was a customer's. Let's see. Tim Green, yeah, Game Fisher, new rope, check over. Yep. Needed a, it has a Tecumseh carburetor on it, and the fuel pump's bad, and you can't get the fuel pump for it. That I do remember. Timber Bear. Oh, another one of my solos. A couple of Husqvarnas sitting up there. So if we need parts, yeah, we definitely got parts for some saws. Hell, the rebuild kits and top end for those might be pretty cheap by now. Might even be able to rebuild a couple of them. Oop. And eventually, when I get some stuff done, I would really like to get back over here and clean up. Okay. What do we got? Yep, another BVM200. This one a little different. This is an older style, but we don't care because we need the crankcase and everything out of it. Okay, so let's bring this one over and don't break that Briggs air cleaner. Alright, I'll meet you back over at the garage. Alright, now we're down to Phillips on this one. Okay, here's our two. We don't have to work. We're not worried about our intake because we're going to use this one, and that takes the new style carburetor, so we're going to use that. Same with the coil. This one, the head's all wallered out from being loose and different bolts put in it, and this one's still in good shape. So we're going to use this jug and put it on that nasty thing. Yeah, that one, that looks pretty rough in there. Let's see, that one doesn't have the foam around it. Is it inside the housing? Yep. It's a totally different foam. Let's see, this one has the foam that's glued down inside of it instead of on the motor itself. But oh shoot, yeah, we still got to tear it apart because we have to change coils because the coil's totally different. Okay, let's see if this one comes apart for us. That'll give us a chance to clean up that recoil in that anyway. It's kind of sloppy. Okay, I got it cleaned up a little bit anyway. Okay, now we got two chances here of... Ooh, wrong side. Got two chances of saving a head gasket. And trust me, I didn't break that one off just for a video, so we could take two to build one. I actually did forget about that. see if we can. That one broke right away. Okay, now we gotta take off this top cap so we can get the piston off of it. And this one just falls apart. And now we can see what got roasted on the other one. They probably stripped that key right out. What we got? That's metal. Ooh! Yeah, that's metal. Is that part of the bearing? I don't like that. Yeah. That's why I parked this one. She's pretty well used up. You can see she's sucked something up. Now I'm starting to think that that's what it ate. Cylinder's fine. But the rings are seized onto it, rusted down. And she's pretty marked up. But I don't like that. It's awful small. I don't think it came out of the bearing. I think maybe it came out of the bearing in there. There's a snap ring here. I'm gonna take that snap ring off and see if this crankshaft comes down out of there. If that crank comes down out of there, we're going to use everything over there. We're just going to change the crank if I can get that get that off of there. That sleeve. If I can get that sleeve off of that other one. Even if I have to cut the end of it off. Okay. I don't think I have a pair of snap ring pliers that small. So I'm gonna have to go get a couple of pokers and see if I can't get that up off of there. I'd like to see if that crankshaft just slides down out of there pretty easy. If it does, then that's what we're gonna do. Okay, I got a nice bronze sleeve. Let's see what. Yeah, ooh, yeah. No, that's not good. It's about the same diameter. Oh. No. Maybe. Get on now. Nope. So we're just gonna have to run what we brung. And put that clip down on there too. Because I don't have a press. And that's what it needs to be pressed. Okay, so this is the crank case we're going to use. Bearings and everything feel really good in this. That's the one we're going to use. Okay, our crankshaft. Okay, what I did, the old one, I just whacked on it and pounded it down through, and then cut it off with the grinder, with the cutoff wheel, and then pulled it up through. There's the, okay. You can see how it twisted that sucker right off. There's a little keyway in there. Okay, and then how I got the good one out is I run the nut down on it, wherever it's at. I run the nut down on it. Yeah, I run the nut down on it. I run the nut down on it. There it is. I run the nut down until it was nice and flush. Took my bronze knocker and then just set it down and on the ground and tapped on it, and she came down out. I was on a roll, so I didn't show you. Sorry. Okay, this is the one we want to use. This is the one that has the O-ring on it. This is the one out of that other one. You can see that the crank seal was bad in it, and that's why the crank seal in there is all cattywampus in there, and that's what caused that one to fail. So this one we can just put him right down in to get him started, and it should get over the leg. Should be able to just knock him down in. I'm going to take him in and put him in the vise and knock that down in. You see what I'm just taking a brass or bronze knocker and just going to tap that down through. And if you didn't notice, I just noticed it. This is the new style, and that's the old style. See any difference? New style is a 1-ring piston, and the old style is a 2-ring piston. Too bad we can't use that one. Ring gap is really, really small. There's it's just really, really crusty. What happens on these is if you're running too heavy of an oil, you get a lot of carbon buildup, and what happens is it carbons these rings up. It'll carbon the rings up, and then they'll adhere to the piston. You've got that one come loose. I'd really like to use this 2-ring piston. If I can get the rings, I mean, 2-ring piston is a heck of a lot better than a single ring. You get more compression. You don't get as much blow by. And the less blow by, the better compression. If you have anything passing the top ring, as far as compression wise goes, the bottom one will seal it up and you'll get better compression. longevity too. I've noticed that dual ring piston lasts a lot longer than a single ring. For example, on your Husqvarnas all run a single ring piston, except for their 272 chop saw. The chop saw runs a 2-ring piston because it works a lot more than a chainsaw. I don't know if I can get that. So a chop saw, like I said, works harder, so you need more compression and to sustain more compression longer. If I can get that out of there, I think I can save this. I got one spot there where the piston got nicked a little bit with some debris, and it's holding our piston ring in the groove. If I can get it out without breaking it, I can clean the ring groove. Okay, I'll work at this and see what, if you can. I may have been down where you couldn't even see it, but I got the rings loosened up. I mean, they're free, but you can see there's this one spot right here. Let me get my poker. Right here, this little mark peened over a little bit of the aluminum off of the piston, and it's swelled up just a little bit, and it's got our ring pinched in there. Okay, I'll work at it, see if I can't get it out of there without breaking the ring. Okay, saved our piston rings. That's just the way they are. Bottom, top. So right now, we're gonna take a little 1500 grit, and I'm just gonna clean up the ring grooves. I already scraped them out with a wee little screwdriver and got the carbon out of them. Dead battery. That one lasted quite a while. Now we're just going to take our piston ring and just clean the carbon and any rust that's on them. Okay, that's top. And that's our bottom. So we want that down there, and that one there. Now I need my rag. This is the top ring. That's the one that was hung up. Whoop, wrong piston. It was hung up right here. You can see it's nice. Okay. Good. Now let's see if we can get them back on without breaking them. Offer. Okay. This is our bottom ring. Move him right down. Did I bring my... No, I didn't. And we'll just slowly... Make sure he's not binding up. He is. So we want to... Always hate messing with piston rings. There we go. Loosened up. See what I did? Put it on upside down. That's not going to work. That's better. And the top ring. That's why I did that. Okay. It's weird. The pin is on the bottom side on the bottom ring, and on the top side on the top ring. There we go. Nice. Now we're ready to start assembling. And it's also starting to get dark. So I think I'm gonna get this. Okay. Here's our good crankcase. Let's see. Here's our good jug. Jug. Goes like that. Okay. So we want our, where's our splits? There's our splits. Should be one on either side of the intake, the ring gap. Let's see, I think I got our, yeah, jugs backwards. That's better. Okay, jug bolts. O-ring. Give it back to me. There we go. Alright, it's getting late, and I've had about enough of this thing for tonight. So we'll pick it back up tomorrow.